Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our Environmental Summit. We have a few new folks in the crowd today, so let me make a couple of introductions. First, I want to give my heartfelt thanks to our presenting sponsor, Elizabeth Moore. Thank you. She's been very generous in sponsoring the summit, as she does many of our great organizations out in the community. She is truly appreciated. And the generosity of this community has been outstanding as well. As you look around, pretty much everything you see has been created, donated, supported by all of the members of the Science and Environment Council. Everyone who has a ribbon on their badge has contributed in some way, either as a sponsor, an organizer, a speaker, or our board of directors as the steering committee. So thank you to everyone who has made this possible. I want to give a particular thank you to Florida Native Plant Nursery, who has transformed this center into a beautiful garden. All of these Florida native plants that you see here on the stage and in the lobby are available if you'd like to purchase them and take them home. Just see Annie Schiller. She's in the back row there, standing, waving. She would love for you to take her plants home so that she doesn't have to. All right, I'm ready for the first slide. So at this environmental summit, we walk the talk. We have taken great care and been very mindful to design every element of this program for sustainability, with regard to energy, with regard to food sourcing, and with regard to our waste stream. Next slide. So rest assured that your carbon footprint in driving here has been minimized in enjoying all of this air conditioning and technology. We are running on 100% green power through 2 different sources, all donated by Renewable Choice Energy. They donated 2 megawatt hours of wind and solar power that were added to the grid via renewable energy credits. This is the equivalent of a regular passenger car driving 3,648 miles, or a savings of 167 gallons of gas. So that's great. In addition, they donated 6 megaton equivalents of carbon dioxide that have been sequestered via verified emission reductions. And this is equivalent to the growing of 155 tree seedlings for a 10-year period, or the equivalent of 7.1 acres of U.S. forest sequestering carbon. So we've tried to be as carbon neutral as possible. With regard to our food sourcing, Zildjian's Catering has taken great care in sourcing our menu ingredients from local farms, many of them organic, such as Aloe Organics, Bloomenberry Farm, and Greens on the Grow. Last night you enjoyed beer from a local craft brewery brewed right here in Sarasota. Our menus contain no red meat and have ample vegan vegetarian options, so we're going light on that as well. And with regard to our waste stream, following the mantra refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle, first of all, we've given all of you these beautiful logoed pint glasses. We have another shipment come in, so if you didn't get yours yet, we have plenty for everyone. There are washing stations in the bathrooms if you want to get yours super fresh and crystal clear before you put your first drink into it, and please do use these. Although we do have plastic-free, biodegradable plates, cups, and wares, keeping it out of the waste stream in the first place is our first objective. In fact, our caterer tells me we ran through about 1,000 cups yesterday, so please do use your reusable cup as your first choice. Our badge holders are PVC free biodegradable plastic. We would ask you to leave them behind when you go home today so we can use them for our next conference. But if you forget and you don't have a use for it, it can be thrown into the trash and it'll biodegrade much more quickly than a regular vinyl badge, which would take eons. All right, and finally, we are recycling all of our glass and cans, of course. Really, that just amounts to a bunch of wine bottles from last night. We are composting food waste. So out in the lobby, you'll see that there are two different colors of cans. One goes to the landfill, the other, the orange one, we are composting all of our food waste, all of our non-animal food waste. So the very little meat that is in the menu, that you can flick that into the regular trash, but all of your otherwise organic waste can go into the orange cans. And thank you very much to Sarasota County Sustainability, Randy Penn, for hauling this trash for us. Very, very excellent work and above and beyond the call, I must say. So thank you to him. Our leftovers are not getting dumped, they're getting packaged up, and there are ravenous students all over campus who are consuming all of our leftovers. And finally, we've taken care of not to produce a lot of waste through minimal printing, not a lot of gizmos or tchotchkes or anything like that. So a very simple program, a reusable glass, and your badge. So that's what we've done to make this a sustainable event. We wanted to demonstrate how, through a little mindful planning, it can be very easy to do so. The Science and Environment Council, in fact, is going to gather our members together for our quarterly meeting this summer in July, hosting a workshop on how, in fact, to plan sustainable events. Thank you to Lee Hayes Byron for that idea. All right, the theme for this summit: connect, engage, activate. Connecting with new people, connecting with new information, connecting generations. Then engaging and activating. We've tried to create an environment where all of that is made possible, where you can find inspiration, take personal or professional action. That, in fact, is your homework assignment for today. At the end of today's proceedings, I'm going to ask you, what have you found inspiration to do? So based on today's proceedings, where have you found inspiration, and what sort of professional or personal action are you going to take? So be thinking about that throughout the day. We'll ask you at the end of the day to report back. Yesterday morning, next slide, I asked you about your goals for the summit and prompted you that we would check in with you today. So let's get our devices out, your smartphone, your tablet, or your laptop. And if you're new today, I'll walk you through it. You can first jump on the Wi-Fi network. You'll find it Event Sud. And the Wi-Fi password, welcome, the number 2, capital N, capital C, capital F. Welcome, the number 2, capital N, capital C, capital F. All right, once you're on Wi-Fi, go to your browser and type in the website menti.com, MENTI.com. And that'll bring you to our interactive polling site. All right, let's try out our first question. You'll need to enter this code at the top of the Menti site, 414790. The code is 414790. Our first question: how many new people have you met so far? So after one day of summit, how many new people do you think you've met? This is our connection question. How many people have you connected with so far? I'll give that another couple of seconds for you to... If you've reconnected with someone that you haven't seen for a while, I'd say that counts. Good, it looks like we could improve and make some more introductions. So be bold, go up to somebody that you don't know, introduce yourself. You never know where your interests might align. All right, let's move on to our next question. This one is about new information that you might have connected with. Which panel presented the most new information for you? Recall yesterday's panels were Florida estuaries, clean water, land conservation, and our science policy session. Wow, that's interesting. So far, it looks like there's 2 clear winners in presenting new information. Florida Estuaries, Panel 1, and Land Conservation, Panel 3. Great, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is related to our summit goal of making connections around projects or collaborative work. Have you connected with anyone around a specific project or effort? Have you planted any seeds that might grow? Excellent. That is really encouraging. So the vast majority of you have made some connections that might go somewhere. Great. I encourage you to keep up those connections and make it happen. All right, finally, let's check in with you personally. Have you identified any new personal or professional actions that will help support the environment and the larger community? Have you identified anything that you want to do or can do personally or professionally? Good, well that's encouraging. We're being useful at least. All right, if it's a no, it's not too late. We have a full day of sessions today where you will find something that will inspire you to do. All right, as I explained yesterday, we are also trying to connect generations. We're connecting generations in order to share history, insights, and inspiration. And to capture this, we have a few intergenerational teams that have come together to make presentations. We'll have some of those today. And we also invite you to make a short video. And this will be a short video interview similar to the NPR StoryCorps idea. Thanks to Abby Turna for this idea. And we have a little video corner over here. So grab someone younger, grab someone older, someone who you admire as a mentor or someone who you see as an up-and-coming leader. Take them to our video corner. Our photographer, Ron, will be happy to videotape you, and we even have questions ready for you to ask each other. For example, what is your greatest success? Who is your most important mentor? For our younger generation, if you could solve or work on one environmental issue, what would it be? So pretty simple questions like that, open-ended. I encourage you to have your own video session and make your mark on this summit. One last announcement, our speakers, we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to sign one of our big logoed posters. This is going to be a nice keepsake, so if you haven't already signed the big poster, if you're a speaker, please do so. You can find David Shafer, who will shepherd you over and remind you to do that, so thank you. All right, so I think we're ready to get started. Our first speaker is here. So I want to introduce you to our new drummer of the day, Lenny Balistreri. Give me a beat. We will be ushered into and out of our sessions with some percussion. When you hear the drumming, heads up, that means something's about to happen. Today we're having 3 new sessions, a double session on climate. We'll be talking about climate all morning. And then in the afternoon, urban ecology and public engagement and education. So we're ready to start our first session on climate. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Dr. Gary Mitchum, who is with us this morning to give our opening remarks. Gary Mitchum is presently a professor of physical oceanography and the associate dean in the College of Marine Science at the University of South Florida. He received his PhD from the Department of Oceanography at Florida State in 1985, spent 11 years in the Department of Oceanography at the University of Hawaii as a member of the research faculty and the director of the University of Hawaii Sea Level Center. His research interests emphasize short-term climate variability, ranging from year-to-year changes to long-term sea level rise. He has a very special presentation to explain to us what it all is about.